Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with Thrifty Thursday. Mostly this is an estate auction haul. I did stop into a couple thrift stores around the place where I go to auctions and picked up a few things. So I'll start with the auction stuff first, I think. So this is, as it says, Canada on paper, 3 pounds. So this is 3 pounds of Canadian stamps on the paper that they were torn from. You know, the envelope, it is just, I mean, it is stuffed out the wazoo. Hold on. I'm already dropping them. I have to put these in something different because yeah, this box is a little decrepit, but it's pretty cool. There's like all different, I mean, very, very different stamps, all different stamps, and I'm really excited that I got this. I thought it would get bid up, you know, a lot, but it didn't, which was great. Every now and then, you know, people leave me alone and I get to get something from the auction. Okay, so that's that. I would show you more, but like it's a little hard to. So yeah, it's a lot of stamps on paper, and I'm pretty happy about that. Okay. In the same vein of things, I got some Jamaica, Sierra Leone, Bechuanaland. Never heard of this place. Norfolk Island, Turks and Caicos, Orange River Colony, Tokelau Islands, Niue, Natal, different stamps, Bermuda, Samoa, Parent Islands, Nauru. Yeah, so just different fun stamps, and also I like the paper that they are on. It's kind of like this old, very old like grid paper, and they've typed the names. So cool stamps. Okay. I get the noisy stuff. Okay. Enamelware. So I'm a big fan of Enamelware. I like to use it for all sorts of things. This is just a plain, these are dirty, I just got them home. So this one is pretty. I plan to use it probably to go underneath a plant. It's just a simple, you know, beaten up kind of enamel container, dish, plate, whatever. This one's like a pie plate, also, you know, kind of beaten up. This one I'll probably use for paints and stuff. These are the ones that I wanted that were like, these are all in a lot, and I wanted these ones. So the big one on the bottom, I'll probably clean it and then fill it with maybe watercolors, paint stones, things like that. It's a very, very big one. I've developed a certain addiction to watercolors, and well, I primarily use beam paints for my watercolors, and some others. I'm starting to get into like color shifting watercolors and like all different makers, and I see myself just, you know, over time buying one or two, you know, because they are quite pricey, like handmade watercolor paint. I'm also, I won't talk about that, but I'm delving myself into that world a little bit. And yeah, I see this kind of eventually getting maybe filled up with different makers and paints and things like that. We'll see. And then I got this one, which has a lid, which is great. And it's a lovely, you know, enamel. And so there's a lot of uses for this. I could obviously store ephemera in it. I could put those stamps in it, to be honest. That would be kind of great. And yeah, I could also use it for like other things like dyeing and that kind of thing. So Enamelware, happy about that. Okay, weird and different stuff today for sure. So this was a set that I paid $2, I think, for this. And I wasn't sure at first about it, but I was pretty happy to see the Dr. P.H. Martins. So this is a very yellow container. I'm going to rehome this into a different container. But these are synchromatic transparent watercolor. And they are mostly full, from what I can tell. And I don't know how old these are. They don't have like a date on them. I was a little concerned, like, will these be spoiled? But no, they're totally fine. They're non-toxic. They are for use on photographs, transparencies, negatives, emulsion films, wood, paper, and treated acetate. So this whole lot, it was a lot for the colorizing of old photos. So like if you want to hand paint and color on photos and like colorize them, that's what these are for. So this I've never used before. This was kind of like I wanted this. This just came with it. So no, I'm quite interested. These are, transparent photo oil colors. Marshall's photo oil colors. If you've heard of these before and you know anything about them, let me know. This is originally from a store I've never heard of called Here's Camera, and it was $149.95. It comes with a cleaner and pre-coat solution for pencils and rough papers. So it's got distilled turpentine and vegetable oils in it. It's got some what looks to be like cotton. This is a extender for the colors. And this is Marlene, apparently. And she is, sorry, it's funny, I have an aunt with that name. A cleaner for removing and cleaning colors from photos and palettes. So this is to clean the surface. Interesting. Marshall's. The photo painting people. Pretty cool, right? Like just a interesting and fun kind of thing. And they give you a palette card. That's kind of cool. I think I'm going to get rid of this old foam. It's kind of yucky. I don't like dealing with old weird things like that. Paper, fine, but old foam, no thank you. So yeah, this will be an experiment day. Maybe we'll do something together with these. Okay. And also from the auction, another lot of things. These are so cool. I'm beyond excited. I need like a light. Hopefully, I hope you can see this. Let me stand up for 1 sec. Hold on. Okay, no, you can see it. Okay. These are lantern slides. They are wooden framed lantern slides. So you literally would hold them up to a lantern. And I wish I had like a projection screen here. And you can project that image, like you put your lantern, you put it on top of your lantern. So like, imagine this is a lantern. You lay it there and the light will allow you to project the image upward. So there's this one, which is like this beautiful, like arch doorway. This looks like, some kind of beautiful, like ancient Italy or something. Then this one is like an old image of a lady reading. It's almost like Dickensian kind of illustration, and like a little girl playing with a doll, a little boy sort of pensively standing with his hand on the table beside who's probably mom. And that's an even, more pretty wood. This one is a religious scene. We have like probably, Jesus and Mary and a cow and a sheep who, yeah, it's the whole like religious scene. And this has Macintosh Battery Optic Chicago. Very cool old labels on here. And this one is, looks like a battle scene of some kind. Probably in like a biblical style illustration, but I don't necessarily see anything biblical about it. Oh, here we go. Cedia of Lebanon. No, it doesn't look like siege. Don't know. This one is like There are cows with those, what are they called? Those wooden, like, pulley things, and people kind of working in a field. This is a religious one as well. I figure these are from the 1860s. So that's what was on the listing. And then this is like, it looks almost like a photograph, to be honest. And it's two people. One has a vase on their head, the other has like a vase down here, and we have like, you know, animals here and a rock wall. A.T. Thompson and Co. MFR Manufacturers, Boston. Yeah, but they're just very nice. And, you know, I thought, like, they could be really cool on the cover of a journal. Like, this is glass, this is wood, but it's embedded, right? It's got a lip to each side, so kind of like your cell phone, you know. It has a bevel, it's not going to easily break. So yeah, I was thinking about, you know, how cool that would be. And if I wanted to, for some of these where the image doesn't appeal to me necessarily, like I think this one, I don't necessarily think it's all that appealing to me. I don't know, some of the religious stuff isn't really my thing either. I can literally change this. I could probably even remove this image somehow. It's hard to say. I'd have to do a little bit of homework here. So this is a little project for me, definitely. But I was really happy to get those. I thought they were very cool. I especially like the round ones. I think that they are, these are my favorite, I would say. This is probably my #1 favorite. But yeah, such a fun, cool thing. Old stuff. Okay. And I think that's everything from the auction. Yeah, I think so. The rest of this is thrift stuff, like from the 2 thrift stores I went to today. So I found this. It is a package of raffle tickets, and they're like different than any others that I have, and I just thought they were kind of cool. They're not old, but like I will dye them probably. Apparently they're from Dollarama. I have never seen them at a Dollarama, but they're cool tickets. Then I saw this package for $1, and I had 2 super weird situations thrifting today. One of which was overt racism that I won't talk about here, but it was very frustrating. And the other one was just that this lady would not get out of the way. She was like standing in front of the paper forever. But I just kind of waited forever and walked around. So these were what I wanted to look at. They're like these notebooks. Now, they say designed by SM Lance Street for Georgette Packaging. Printed and bound in Waterloo, Canada using Pantone inks. And this is just really beautiful paper. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're for other than they're just simple notebook paper. Like, they're just notebooks. Very cute little design. I like the little way that they've, you know, bound that just with a staple, and then it can fold right over. That's kind of an idea, right? We could do that kind of thing in a journal for sure. So there's just, you know, 4 of them, and I'll use the paper. I potentially will dye the paper. It's also great for backing. It's a nice smooth, it almost feels like stone paper, like that really cool smooth paper. So yeah, that was a nice find. They had a bunch of packs of them. I just grabbed one, not trying to be excessive. And then I got some of these staples, these little colored staples. So I don't know if I showed you guys recently in a thrift haul. I got this, I'm obsessed with vintage office stuff. So I got this stapler, this Aero Staples stapler, and it takes mini staples, and it's from Saddlebrook, New Jersey. I love it though, and it's a great stapler. And I'm always paranoid I'm never going to be able to find these like smaller staples. I don't know, like I worry that one day nobody will stock them. I don't know why I feel that way, but I usually pick them up when I see them. And then I found this book. What is this? Okay. Putting weird stuff in my book. Okay, so this is a beautiful book that I paid $2 for. It is The Beautiful Tree of Life. And I fell in love with the cover. I love the spine. The book itself is, I don't know, it's like, it's got this, The Beautiful Tree of Life, 1892. Wisdom, patience, temperance, joy. So yeah, kind of a cool image, and like, I think I could use that for something. It's not the end paper. No, it's not. Okay. It's just a pretty little fold out. So here we go. Looking for the date. I think it is 1892. Yeah, 1892. It's a nice old book. It's got some pretty like plates, black and white plates in it. Most of them are probably like this drunken man with a broken soul or something. A little light. So some of them are pretty. Some of them will be like, actually more are pretty than not, maybe. I'm so used to seeing the weirdest like black and white book plates. Like I always prepare to see like maimed animals and men like falling apart at the seams. But there's some beautiful ones in here. That's a nice surprise. Oh, that's a really pretty one. Birds and flowers. Okay. I mean, I guess because it is The Beautiful Tree of Life, not the Shipshape Sailor's Guide to Self-Destruction like most of the books I seem to find. So then I found a bag of lace. Now, there was a ton of lace. There's always a ton of lace at the store. And I was like, absolutely no, you don't need any. I have so much lace, it's not even funny. So I got this one and only bag. I left like 20 other bags behind. I was well behaved. I got it because this is like different. It's kind of fun. I really like it. And, you know, this is pretty standard to me. I have a lot of this kind of, this one is nice. I really like that. I'm looking for different lace that isn't just kind of like this, you know, like your plain old, like that's normal ruffle lace. So I like that a lot. That's really pretty. This is pretty cool. It's like a different kind of, those look like, what's the word when you crochet or when you embroider and you pile a bunch of stitches up like in a pile like that. I completely forget. That's terrible. But yeah, I like that. This is also different. It reminded me, don't these look kind of like maple seeds? They reminded me of maple seeds. And then I saw this one because it's this nice off-white and I really liked it. So that was kind of what made me pick up this lace. But no more lace. Not allowed. We have so much lace. At this point I should be making like lace-heavy journals. This doesn't count as lace. This doesn't count, okay? Because it's not really. They're appliques. And I always pick up appliques. Like, that's a cold dead hands thing. I need to pick up appliques. And these are cool. They're probably from a wedding dress. So they're like these shells. But like, look how sparkly these are. Very cool. And there's a whole bag of them. It was $1.50. And I think they're all pretty much the same. Some have a little extra sequins and beading. I think what these stores do eventually when they have like a wedding dress, they eventually cut it up because they're just like, we can't sell this wedding dress. But it's like all iridescent and I love that. So I'm all about those. Love them. Then I got a few books, but they're all, I think, almost all kids' books. So the Little Scouts, this is a cute little, the Littles, right? I don't know if you've heard of the Littles, but this is from 1985, and this is going to go into my 80s nostalgia pile for some journals that I'm going to be making. They were like something a little different, and then I found a Barbapapa mystery at amusement park. Barbapapa books, strangely enough, sell for a very high price. It's amazing. I always see them. These are all 50 cents. This is also going to go into my nostalgia pile. I'm really excited about this. I love the illustration of Barbapapa. Always have. And then I found a Cabbage Patch Kids, Xavier's Fantastic Discovery. I always love this bunny bee. Oh my gosh. Queen of the bunny bees. So that's why I picked it up. I think I already have one copy of this, but these bunny bees get me every time. I love them so much. Nostalgia pile. And then this I got for my daughter, actually. It's Jelly Belly Dennis Lee. I don't know if you've ever read Jelly Belly, but it's a wonderful book. It's from 1983, and it's got all of these. I mean, some of these are probably inappropriate, possibly, I don't know. But there's a certain kind of charm to this book that I think I want my kids to know it. So it's a cool book, and also the illustrations are great. I never even thought about that. Mrs. McGee climbed into a tree, and she only came down to go shopping. A branch was her bed with a leaf on her head, and wherever it rained, she got sopping. And there's something about poetry, as I'm teaching my daughter to read, which is one of the most challenging things as a homeschooler, is getting your kids to learn to read. It's a lot of work, I have to say. You know, where other things come naturally, it's the thing I stress about the most, because like I'm a stressor kind of person to begin with. But poetry changes up the I don't know, it triggers the brain in a different way. So that's my thoughts with that right now, and why I picked up Jelly Belly. Then I got a punch, Creative Memories Corner Rounder. And I know I don't need punches. I've got a corner rounder. I have the Crocodile corner rounder. But you know what's funny? I'm trying to mix it up the way that I corner round, because I'm getting this pain right here below my elbow. It's like a tendon type pain. And I think when I use this, I trigger it. Also, when I use my garbage picker upper thing, it's like the squeezing motion. So I'm trying to calm down on that particular motion for a while, because that's how you heal these things, right? You just need to like settle down on what you're doing, so that you don't over irritate. So this will give me another way to corner round with a different motion that doesn't hurt. I don't feel that in my arm. So yeah, I was happy to find that little punch. I'm just going to put it in my little frequently used basket, and it works well. So then I found Pearl Luster Embossing Powder in Emerald. And I always pick up embossing powder when it's like cheaper. So, you know, because these things are around like $8-ish where I live to buy new, and this one was $3 and it's full. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. It would be a nice color to add to my embossing powders. Oh, it's really pretty too. Yeah. Okay. Then I think I have just one more thing. Nothing extremely exciting, just some brown thread. But it's a great thread. I'm getting very picky about my thread these days. So it is Molnlyke. I don't know how to say that, but it's a nice thread. It's a better quality thread. It's very hard to break. Like, it's almost impossible. Like, you'll probably cut your fingers. And that's the kind of thread that I like to sew with these days. I'm getting to a point where I just don't want to deal with my thread snapping, like, ever. I'm going to have a meltdown if I have to deal with that ever again. So I've gotten rid of a lot of vintage threads because I just get very annoyed when my thread breaks. However, if you have that problem, you don't have to be a big baby like me. You can actually just double strand. So you can, if you have a rack or something beside your sewing machine that you can have one thread hold on to, you can double thread like this, and it will give you more strength and you won't have so much snapping. You can also use thread like that on your bobbin rather than on your leader thread, because it doesn't have to work as hard. It's like more passive to the leader thread in the sewing machine. So just something to think about there. But yeah, I got rid of a whole ton of like vintage thread that I don't need it, and I want to like not be frustrated. So that being said, just doing a final look around. That's it. That's all I got, except for my other weird estate auction thing, which was an entire case of 36 bottles of hand sanitizer. So, but if you know me, you know me, and there's a reason. I have 2 children, and children are germ vectors, and I don't want to get sick ever again. So I'm going to sanitize myself into freedom from illness. That being said, thank you for hanging out with me. I had a lot of fun just showing this stuff to you, and now I need to put it all away. And I will talk to you next time. I hope the thrifting fairies are with you. Bye for now.